Certainly seems that Gabby is putting herself in a position here to finish very strong today, if not in the champion position.
Megan Potee of Noblesville with a score of 307.70 coming into round number 10.
Again, a front 2.5 somersault in the tuck position. We haven't seen any high-scoring front 2.5s yet so far this contest, at least in the final 3 rounds here. Megan got her arms up a little slow, and the dive rotated a bit too slow to finish over the
8th on the leaderboard. Gabriella Augustino, Chrissy Riley, Sarah Clay, Whitney Adams, Maddie Muscullen, Jessica Squires, Kate Hillman, and Megan Potee, your top 8 through 2 rounds.
Front double somersault in the pike position. A little bit short here for Catherine. She did get a nice pike position. She finished strong in this contest. I wouldn't think that she dropped any places, if not many places, going into these last 3 dives.
41.40, giving her a total for the round 360 plus. Next up, Chelsea McKean again. Chelsea from Bloomington South, just a freshman.
Very good finishing dive here. She's very strong for a freshman. She has mature board work. She moves well with the diving board and lets the board do the work and lift her hips way up in the air.
357.20 for Whitney Adams.
Pretty solid. This is the best front 2.5 we've seen so far. She still left it a little bit short of vertical. She didn't quite kick her legs out aggressively or boldly on the come out, but this will score better than the others we've seen.
44.40 for the round. Whitney Adams in front for now on the leaderboard with a total of 401.60. Next up, Chrissy Riley from Pendleton Heights, also a senior. Her total, 368, and Chrissy Riley, coming into the round, was 4th.
This may be perceived as vertical. This may be perceived as a little short of vertical. A great jump and a great pike position. One of the best mid-air positions of any of the competitors in the contest.
Good scores. Lowest score, Judge 3. Natalie Grissom is up next from Franklin, just a junior. Her score coming in, 303.35.
It's a front full twisting 1.5 somersault, so she over-twisted slightly for the dive.
All 5s between 5.0 and 5.5, 36.30 for the round. Her total, 339.65.
Got to enjoy being an underclassman in a meet like this. There's really nothing at stake other than the fun and enjoyment of the sport and to see how high and how fast you can go. And I think the seniors feel a little bit more pressure as they come into their final
Gail
few
Sussdorf
rounds.
of Fisher's a sophomore competing here this afternoon and coming into the final round, 336.25, her total.
She won't have any complaints on that score. That's a lot of points, a lot of degree of difficulty. She could score in the 7s and 8 ranges, but that's going to be on most likely voluntary dives as opposed to a 2.5 somersaults performed over the water.
A low of 5, a high of 6, a total of 40.80. The total, 377.05. Next up, Mariah Kiefer. Mariah, a junior from Homestead High School, and coming into this round, her total score, 322.65.
Mariah's been doing a very nice job today. This back twister is a little, she hung it over the diving board. It's a little close to the board, and it's the head. Her head was what was close to the board. Some of the judges are going to take off for that.
And Kate Hillman is up next. Kate is just a sophomore from Shenandoah High School.
We've got 2 sophomores and a freshman in these final rounds, and they are all absolutely exceptional athletes and performers. I'm sorry, we've got 3 sophomores, and I could say the same for all 3. These ladies have been really representing the underclassmen in this contest. Great finish for Kate with this inward 1.5 pike.
344.10 was her total coming into this final round. And good scores, 6.60, 6.0, 6.5, 6.0, 6.5, 7.5, 7.0, 6.5, giving her a total of 46.80. Overall total of 390.90. Good scoring round for Kate Hillman. Next up, Sarah Clay from Hamilton Southeastern.
Sarah's going for a win with this dive. A front 2.5 pike, which is a very high degree of difficulty for a female diver. It's the most difficult skill we'll probably see in the contest today. She finished the skill over the water. However, she didn't quite extend. She left it a little bit short of vertical.
4s and 5s, primarily a low of 4.5 and a high of 5.5. Her round 11 total, 41.60 for an overall total of 408.40 for Sarah Clay, currently placing her 2nd on the leaderboard as we are past the halfway mark now with just 7 divers remaining. Next up, Christina Byrell from Hamilton Southeastern, a junior.
A complex skill, back one somersault, 2 1/2 twists. Did not quite go in the water square. She was a little bit short of the twist by the time her feet had contacted the water. The judges will be up and down on this. Some will think she made it at maybe the 5 range. Others might be a bit lower than that.
327.15 her total coming into this final round, waiting on her scores to be posted from the 7 judges here at the Natatorium.
It's great. Christina has her teammate here, Sarah Clay, also in the contest. It's always fun if you do make it in this individual sport to the championships to have another team, a team member, a representative who's there with you.
A low of 4 from judge number 3 and a high of 6 from judge 7. 4s and 5s other than that. Total for the round, 40.50, giving her an overall score of 367.65. Next up, Jamie Curtis from Fort Wayne Northrop.
I have to give diving coaches in the state of Indiana a lot of credit. I recognize a lot of these athletes as club divers from all regions of the state, and these athletes are really putting on a terrific show today.
Jamie Curtis, Fort Wayne Northrop, just a junior, had a total of 307.30 coming into this final round. A couple of 4.5s, a 4.0 from Judge 5, and 5s other than that. Total for the round of 29, giving her an overall score of 336.30. Next up, Madeline Miscullen from Valparaiso, also a junior.
Now, Jamie had that back and a half completed well over the water. She didn't come out boldly or confidently enough. She didn't quite kick her legs firm to present the out, and the judging panel responded to that.
Her total, 353.95 coming into her final dive.
Now, this is probably the first square back one somersault with 2 1/2 twists that we've seen. She obviously finished the twist and stopped twisting as she went in the water. Her arms weren't quite extended to her side. The somersault was a little short. The scores are going to be higher for this one.
5.0 and several 5.5s. The highest, Judge 4 at 6.5, giving her a total for the round of 44.55. Nice scoring round for her. 398.50 vaults her to 4th on the leaderboard. Makes way for Jessica Squires of Centerville. Jessica, a senior.
Just a tremendous jump and a great extension for the entry here. The dive was rotating a little slow, but it was a mile in the air. It'd be interesting to see what our judging panel thought of this front 2 1/2 tuck.
353.60 her total coming into this final round, the round 11 here at the Natatorium on the IUPUI campus. Judges liked it. A lot of 7s, a lot of 7.5s. Her lowest, Judge 7, a 6.0. She racked them up in that round, 49.20, giving her a total of 402.80. Jessica Squires now 3rd on the leaderboard.
I believe that's the highest individual dive score of our contest today through 11 rounds.
Ellis Walters up next from North Central, nearby to the Indianapolis area on the north side, of course.
Ellis did an excellent job with this back 1 1/2 twist. She throws it as easily as a voluntary and drops straight in vertical.
Lots of 5s and 6s. Several judges with a 5.5. Highest scores 6.5 by Judge 5 and 6.
Those scores are too conservative for the quality of that last dive.
41.25 the total, 383.30 the overall total. Next up, Gabriela Augustino, your leader coming into this final round. Total of 379.10 from South Bend, St. Joe's.
Gabriella, an absolute workhorse in the pool. She jumps as well as any diver in the state of Indiana. And this dive has enough degree of difficulty to secure her a very solid finish in first place.
All 6s and 1.7.0. Her score through the round, 49.40, giving her an overall total of 428.50 for the senior, Gabriela Augustino from South Bend, St. Joe's. Final dive, Megan Poteet from Noblesville, the sophomore. Megan with a score of 343.70 coming in.
A great finish for Megan as well. The underclassmen are just amazing in this contest today. Megan pressed out and dropped in a back 1 1/2 somersault pike from 7 feet over the water, and her legs are about a mile long, so it presented a good finish for the entry.
So, recapping now, Gabriela Augustino, 428.50. Chrissy Riley at 417.20. Sarah Clay at 408.40. Then Jessica Squires, Whitney Adams, Maddie Muskelvin, Katie Hillman, and Megan Poteet. An outstanding round of diving competition here at the IUPUI Natatorium, Sean.